Hi, I'm Erin of SURJ, and happy May Day to all of you out there. It does seem like mass movements are in the air this spring. Every few weeks, a couple million people are getting out into the streets. And as I record this, all across the country, over 1 million people are rallying in over 1,000 rallies in 50 states around a single slogan of May Day Strong. Teachers, nurses, immigrants, community members, workers, really people of all stripes are standing up and saying that we've had enough. You can find an incredible map charting it all out, linked in our comments below. And we've had enough of being divided, bamboozled, hammered by the entitled billionaires running this country without a single care for us, the multiracial working class. SURJ has been at the beginning of this coalition in Chicago just a couple months ago. And today we have thousands of members in over 100 communities marching in May 1st rallies. And we're so excited to see the hundreds of SURJ volunteer organizers who are on the ground putting in the elbow grease of this big push today. We continue to be focused on our core mission of winning white people out of the racism and xenophobia that have traded some really dubious rewards for our shared interest in winning things that we all need for a better life, like healthcare for all, affordable housing, sustainable jobs, and an end to this in your business police state Trump wants to build for all of us. We knew that we needed to stretch and build more with allies like unions and community organizations as part of this May Day, because it's quite easy to remember why. This week, we hit Trump's first 100 days in office of his second term, and what a time it has been. The brutal assault on communities of all kinds, especially people of color, especially our immigrant and Palestinian neighbors, have not slacked off one bit. And when we look back on the start of the Trump administration, the breadth and the seriousness of the actions that have been taken are large scale and they are very alarming. Last week, the administration led the largest enforcement action ever in the state of Vermont, and they made a staggering 800 arrests in Florida after a quote unquote unprecedented partnership between ICE, DHS, and local law enforcement. The administration isn't just targeting those they think are isolated and marginal, they are unafraid to even go after judges. Last week, Trump's FBI arrested a Wisconsin judge, accusing her of helping an immigrant evade an arrest by ICE. Arresting a sitting judge as the first line of communication in response to a charge of misconduct is both highly unusual and a naked use of authoritarian power. And of course, this is coming right on the heels of the egregious abduction of Mahmoud Khalil, who remains locked up in a Louisiana prison, and the abduction and disappearance of Kilmar Abrego Garcia to a brutal El Salvadorian prison without the prospect of due process or seemingly returning to his wife and child. And so this is why so many of us are out on the streets today for May Day. Our role is to show up big and draw the connections between fighting for workers and the fight against racism, xenophobia, and Islamophobia. We must show up and move more white people off the sidelines in response to the attacks on the Palestinian movement, immigrant communities, and the many others who are under attack in this moment. It's equally as important for us to be clear-eyed about the intended results of these attacks in the white community. Our opponents are very intentionally using these actions to deepen a racialized story about who belongs in this country and who does not, who deserves rights, dignity, and protection. The intended result is to split off white working people from the multiracial working class to whom which we belong, thereby creating white solidarity across class lines. And we know that this has paved a path to power for our opponents, right? And so this is why our organizing and contending in working class communities is a critical component of our strategy and why we're continuing to grow this work. So, of course, we aren't just packing it up and saying good show today, and we're going to keep on after today. We're going to continue to support more mobilizations, and we're also developing, organizing, and refining our forces and campaigns for the fight ahead. So we're going to be coming back to a series of face-to-face mass meetings all throughout the spring because we know how strong and important it is for our folks to get together, get pumped, and continue to take action. So please stay tuned. Our forces are just beginning to swell, and the giant is stirring.